So, have you ever had this brilliant goal, right? A huge ambition that you were so excited about, and then it just kind of fizzled out? Yeah, it's a super common frustration, but guess what? It doesn't have to be that way. Today, we're going to dive into a simple but really powerful framework that's all about turning those vague wishes into actual achievable results. All right, let's start with a feeling I think we all know way too well: the frustration of a goal that just goes nowhere. It's this universal experience. It doesn't matter if you're trying to run a city or just trying to run a 5K. So, why does this happen all the time? Why do so many of our best intentions just fall flat? Well, the problem usually isn't about a lack of ambition or not trying hard enough. It's almost always a lack of clarity. We're aiming at a fuzzy target that we can't really see. And this right here, this is the core of the problem. You've got a nice idea like improve city services. It feels good to say, but what does it actually mean? Now contrast that with a crystal clear plan. Reduce service response times by 10% in the next quarter. Boom, suddenly you know exactly what success looks like. That, right there, is the power of clarity. Okay, so how do we get that kind of clarity? Well, we use a proven framework, and it's known as the SMART principles. Think of this as the tool that turns those foggy ambitions into objectives that are sharp and easy to see. At its heart, the SMART framework is really just a simple checklist. It's a set of criteria that guides you, that forces you to think through all the crucial details right from the very start, so your goals are basically built to succeed. And here it is, the breakdown. A goal has to be specific, so there's absolutely no confusion. It's got to be measurable, so you can actually track your progress. It needs to be achievable, so it's realistic, not just a fantasy. It must be relevant, making sure it actually matters and aligns with your bigger picture. And finally, it has to be time-bound, because let's be honest, a goal without a deadline is really just a dream. Now, theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to look at our source material, which shows us how an entire city uses these exact principles in a really high-stakes annual review. We're talking millions of dollars and critical public services on the line. Welcome to the Proving Ground, the annual corporate scorecard review. As part of its legally required performance management system, the city has to review its biggest goals every single year. And the SMART framework? That's the mandatory measuring stick they have to use. What's so powerful here is seeing how the city uses SMART for constant refinement. This is not a one-and-done deal. They are always tweaking the very language of their goals, the names, the definitions, the targets, all to make sure every single objective is sharp, clear, and perfectly aligned with the city budget. So the second big function is assessment. Because the goals are measurable and time-bound, they can look back with total clarity. Did we hit the target? It's a simple yes or no. They can analyze performance trends and use cold, hard data to decide if their goals for the next year need to be adjusted. There is absolutely no guesswork involved. And this is where it gets really proactive. They use those performance reports to spot problems. But they don't just point fingers. They use the SMART framework to develop concrete, actionable solutions. And then, those solutions become new goals that get built right into the city's long-term plan. It's this amazing, continuous cycle of improvement. So when you kind of zoom out and look at all this, you start to see that it's about so much more than just setting better goals. It's really about building a better, smarter organization. Let's take a look at that bigger picture. Here's the crucial takeaway from all this. SMART isn't just some helpful acronym or a bureaucratic checklist you have to get through. For this city, and really for any organization, it's a quality control mechanism. It's the system that makes sure their most important strategic goals are built to succeed right from the beginning. And this quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. The whole point of this rigorous process is to ensure their goals stay clear, quantifiable, and, this is the key part, realistically attainable, even as conditions change over time. And the benefits just ripple outwards from there. By using the SMART framework, they automatically meet all the legal requirements for performance management. They build a system that's strong and reliable. And they create that awesome virtuous cycle we talked about: planning, monitoring, and reporting, which just leads to even better planning. Okay, so we've seen how this works on a massive citywide scale. But what does all of this mean for us? What's the real takeaway that makes any goal, big or small, a truly great one? So it all brings us to this final question. I want you to think about one goal in your own life right now. Could be in your career, your health, your learning, anything. Is it just a vague wish or is it a real plan? What's just one simple step you could take today to make it more specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound? Because that one little shift could be the difference between just dreaming about it and actually doing it.